Pleasant Monday morning to you, Monday afternoon, Monday lunch. I'm here, Nick's here. It's the CHGO Bears Podcast. Rookie Minicamp in the rearview mirror. We have so much to get to today. It's frightening, but I think we can handle it. Hogue is on assignment detail. Prayers up for everything to go well on that. Braggs will be here tonight with Corey Wooten. It is the opening of the softball season. We've got jerseys. We are the defending champs. We're going to kill everybody. I'm planning on going undefeated. And the Bears had a very optimistic weekend, Nick, which is what we should have at Rookie Minicamp. I mean, I'm feeling Super Bowl. Are you feeling Super Bowl?
I mean, the vibes are high, and, you know, they had the Care Gala, too. Everyone was looking dapper over the weekend. So I think it just was a very fitting way to end Rookie Minicamp. Vibes are high. People are looking good, feeling good. Bears Super Bowl.
Did you have a favorite moment of Rookie Minicamp?
Well, look, I've been telling everybody I can watch Caleb Williams throw a football all day and not get bored of it. Like, it's automatic. Even if it's just routes on air, I get it. It's simple. He should be making these passes, but he does have just a nice, beautiful form. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, so that's kind of where we're kicking off the show today. What did we see? What do you believe? What's real? What's real about what's being said? What is completely insane about what's being said? So we're going to get to all of that here as we kind of go through. And I had a conversation along with a handful of other fine media members with the Bears quarterbacks coach, Kerry Joseph, who's an interesting guy because he doesn't have a ton of experience as a quarterback's coach. He's been an offensive coordinator. He's been an assistant QB's coach. And Shane Waldron's here, and Caleb's got a whole army of people supporting him. But it's an interesting guy in that position. We'll get to that. But let us start, and Bears fans, I would love to see, you know, Crystal and Noah and Gritty and Nagy. I'd like to have everybody have their antennas up here as to what do we believe and what do we not believe. I think we all believe. I think. Although there are random comments on some of my videos that I put out on Caleb and company that he's gonna just be like the next guy that'll be out the door and then they'll be looking for somebody else. He's not all that, you know, that whatever those throws or anybody can make those throws. But I think most people believe that the Bears finally, through skill and luck, have found their quarterback. Period.
Yeah.
Like we are in another land. It just feels like it feels totally different.
And again, it's Rookie Mini. It should feel that way, right? There's no reason to feel pessimistic about like the season at this point in time. Nothing has really happened. So I see Omar in the chat. Caleb will be a bust. Stop it. It's way too. It is not even remotely close to being that time to make those kind of accusations.
Omar's got to be trolling. Omar, elite troll. But here's where. See, I like to believe in our Bears coaching staff. I like to believe that the Flus is going to be his best Flus this year. I like to believe that Shane Waldron is coming in here with an offense that's going to be creative and dynamic, and it's going to underline and boost up the strengths of the quarterback and everybody out there, period. But so the first up over the weekend was our special teams coach, Richard Hightower, who just did a phenomenal interview with Adam. It was a great watch. If you haven't seen it, go back and check that one out. But so he gets up there on Saturday, and we're talking about the new kickoff situation, and then he goes and he drops this one, and this is when I started to think, well, maybe I got to start to, you know, pay attention to what's being said here and be a little more critical. So this was Richard Hightower as he dropped, you know, the kickoffs. What's it going to look like? We got this guy that we're going to use.
Yeah, that's a great question, Larry. When you talk about the the new rules and what is the purpose and what is the emphasis of the new rules is to bring more returns into the game. So how it pertains to our team, you can only think about a guy like Velus Jones. It's a great example. You know, it's his birthday today too, so happy birthday for him. But a guy like that with his type of skill set, with the speed and the power that he has, and he's coming full speed ahead at you, it's like a damn freight train running at you. And he's going to get an opportunity to touch the ball, 3 or 4 more times a game. And we all know he's a very dynamic player with the ball in his hand. But this new rule, because of the landing zone, because of the league incentivizing returns, it's only going to have a really good effect for not only our whole return team, but for a guy like that to really change the game.
Now, I appreciate guys who want to prop up their dudes, and Velus is still on the team. But come on, man.
Damn freight train.
Velus is a freight train coming at you? Has anyone ever said that in the history of the world other than Richard Hightower on Saturday? Seriously, has anybody ever said that? Freight train coming at you, Velus Jones.
I don't believe so. Fact or fiction? I think this will be fun for the chat too as we kind of go through each one of these clips. Yeah. Is that fact or fiction? What Richard Hightower said about Velus Jones' impact given the new rule change?
And does it does it make you worried about Richard Hightower? Like he didn't really mean that, did he? I think I look at Richard Hightower most times he's talking. I'm thinking to myself, this guy could be a head coach in the NFL. I really believe that. But then he dropped the Velus nugget. I was like, whoa. Don't we have any other option? Wouldn't you rather see Dante Pettis, who's not a freight train, but somebody else, running back there? I don't know. But maybe if you're on the fact side of things, maybe this is Velus is finally settled in. 3rd year, gonna have the ball in his hands more opportunities. I can hear Hogan in my head right now. Carm, Velus has been a good kick returner. He can do that, and that's what they're asking him to do, and that's why he was drafted. One of the main reasons. So, and now here comes Gary Rappaporter, saying Velus has almost a roster spot locked up with the new kickoff rules now. I mean, there's going to be a lot of wide receivers out there that are going to get cut. You could put a lot of dudes back there. Khalil Herbert could be returning kicks.
Yeah. So Mark, here let's put some numbers behind this
give me some numbers.
Those are strong words from Richard Hightower on his guy Velus Jones Jr. In 2023, Velus had an average kick return of 27.2 yards. He finished 5th in the league in total return yards on kickoffs, 435. Tops was Nixon from the Green Bay Packers with 782. So, when you look at the numbers, Velus Jones Jr. is a top 5 kick return man. And don't we think those numbers are only going to go up given the more opportunities and the chances that Velus Jones Jr. will have in 2024?
All right, well, okay. Here's Hogan in the chat with fact, and I assume that is the actual Hogue.
I would hope so.
Then let me tell you something. If y'all want to come on the positive side here and say it's fact and that Velus is the dude, then I will not listen to any more Velus slander on this show. You will start to be nice to Velus Jones. I don't want to hear about the fact that he looks super awkward catching the football and that the weird Velus sweep where he maybe gains the yard, he maybe fumbles the football. I don't want to hear any about that. I want to hear about the great draft pick that is Velus Jones from now on. Because Ryan Paul's new kickoff rules were going to come. He saw the future, and now we've got an elite guy in Velus Jones.
Boom. Look, I'm going to go fact on this. I'm going to go fact on the impact he can potentially have in 2024, Mark. Just given that he was able to be productive. As this is not wide receiver talk. This is not Velus Jones Jr. impactful wide receiver. Velus Jones Jr. impactful kick returner. Yes, I will go with that.
All right.
I will buy in that stock. Fact.
Okay. All right. So I didn't think this conversation was going to go this way, but apparently the Velus train is just rolling, it's
freight train.
The freight train is rolling. It's May. We're all going to jump on the Velus train. So I'm trying to think what I will be willing to do for you, Nick, and for everybody who's out there, Gary and Hogue and everybody, that I personally don't think that Velus makes it through the year on this football team.
Okay.
I would bet against Velus being the maybe he'll make it through training camp, maybe he'll be on the roster, but I will make the wager right now.
I want your 23 CHGO softball jersey.
You want my softball jersey?
23
from Charlie the Bacon guy?
I want 23.
Everybody
if he
needs
does make it.
I ain't giving up my 23 jersey.
If you want to show mine real quick, I don't even know if you can go that way, but I took a guy that I think a lot of Bears fans are going to be buying. 18.
Did you take that for Caleb?
What do you think?
Wow, Nick.
High expectations.
Wow, Nick.
Let's freaking go.
All right.
Actually, you can keep 23. I have 18. New 23.
How about just like chug a Miller Lite on the show? How about that?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Shave one eyebrow.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
shave
get to
one
pick which
eyebrow.
one though.
We're not going eyebrow
Okay.
shave. I'll
That would
do
be weird.
I'll figure out
We'll
what
figure it
the
out, yeah,
payoff
yeah.
is. I'm going to bet. It's on the record. I don't think Velus makes it through the year on the team. All right.
Bold prediction.
So, okay, fine. Velus
Adam
Optimism.
Hogue. No one loves losing bets more than Carman.
That's it. That's so funny because there's so many bets that I won last year that we could just lay out right now. But that's fine. We don't even talk about that. All right, let's move along. Can we actually go to Eric Washington before we get to Shane Waldron? Let me get to Eric Washington, the Bears defensive coordinator, who had a lot to say. And let's bring up my question to Gervon Dexter Sr. about Gervon Dexter Sr. if we can. And I'll let my question do the talking here. But so I asked him about Dexter, and this is how it went.
Without question. And I talked to Travis about that, Flus. You could really see him becoming more and more comfortable because early in the season, like a lot of young players, especially on the line of scrimmage, they're behind because the tempo is just a lot quicker. Yeah, it's a lot quicker, and they're trying to find a way to not only keep up, but to find a way to play ahead of the football play. And so as the reps and the experiences started to accumulate, you saw him starting to impose his will a little bit more. That affected his technique. And even now, you see him at I think, a much – because I went back and looked at all of the rookie stuff and the individual stuff last year so I could have something to measure where he is now against where he was when he first came in. And I'm excited.
So I apologize. I could have set that up better. I thought my question was in there. But so listen, I asked him, did you see a different player in Gervon Dexter Sr. in the second half of the year than the first half of the year? And he proceeded to say, yeah, I did. And he's shout out Eric Washington, Bears defensive coordinator. Dude went back through the tape of rookie minicamp last year and was checking out what he was seeing. So this is where he was at then. This is where he is now. That is some good effort right there by your defensive coordinator. He's got a lot of things he's got to do, but he's really zoning in on Gervon Dexter Sr. He is incredibly optimistic that this guy is going to be a difference maker, that he was different in the second half of the year. Is this fact or fiction?
Mark?
Dexter Sr. is going to be an impact player year 2.
And from what you asked him, like, second half of the season, was he better? That's fact. We have numbers to back that up, too, there, Mark Carman.
Let's hear the numbers, Nick.
So Dexter, and this is actually in the, if you're a diehard, you get access to the 53-man roster projection that I wrote up. And I wrote about Dexter a little bit here. I put Dexter hit a nice stride from week 10 to the end of the season, finishing with 20 of his 29 total pressures and all 4 of his sacks in that time period. So you're looking at the second half of the season. What you asked him about, did you see a different player? Yeah, you did. In terms of production, it was there. He was getting a little bit quicker in the get-off. He looked more comfortable in his role. So when Washington was answering your question and when he's watching the film from what rookie practices look like compared to week 18 of the 2023 season, there was a different Gervon Dexter. So that, I think, is fact. Where are you at, Bart?
Well, I'm with you on
Okay.
that. I absolutely agree. That's why I asked the question. Like, he was different. But I also... I'm not fully sold that Gervon is
the three-tech engine.
going to be the dude. I'm hopeful he's going to be the dude. listening to Eric Washington talk about it,
He's already that dude.
it almost feels like he's just extremely confident that he's going to be the dude. And that's where I get in the factor fiction in my head. Like, I don't know, man.
I'd be in that same role as you. Like, I don't want to put that completely as fact right here, right now about he's already that guy. He's going to be that 3 tech of this defense, that engine. I don't know if I could say that at this point yet, but he definitely was more productive in the second half of the season.
I see Jake Collier in the comments here. Dexter will have an enormous year 2 jump, Akeem Hicks Jr. And so I've heard that comp a couple of times with him. Big, physical, impact dude. I mean, that's a hell of a compliment, by the way. When Akeem Hicks had it going, he was a beast and a half. We all know this.
Yes.
So, if he can even be 75% of Akeem, the Bears would be thrilled, I would think. So
I want to see just comparison-wise, like how big both these guys, just to kind of see what they size-wise, like how, like obviously 6'6", 312 for Gervon Dexter, and then if we're pulling up Akeem Hicks, just to kind of, again, compare the two guys here, 6'4", 335 for Akeem Hicks. So he's a little bit heavier, a little bit shorter, but both really powerful human beings, I would say. If you're like looking for the comparison of those guys, like strong dudes that can just move people.
Big dude. Big. Hey, all right. We got more on Eric Washington, and then we got the Kerry Joseph situation coming up here. And by the way, the mayor's talking to one of our CHGO teammates. So there's a lot to do here. But real quick, hey, get incredible deals on premium cuts with our friends at ButcherBox. ButcherBox.com/CHGO is where you need to go. Deals this good, hard to come by at the grocery store. This is the best quality meat, best quality seafood, 100% grass-fed, free-range organic chicken, pork raised crate-free, wild-caught seafood, humanely raised, no antibiotics, no added hormones. This is the good stuff. It's delivered right to your doorstep, free shipping, curated exactly to the way you want your customized box plans to be. Huge convenience, huge upgrade in quality, huge everything, and ButcherBox is now offering our listeners an amazing offer. New users, you get free meat plus $20 off your first box. Join today using our link. Once again, ButcherBox.com/CHGO. Use that code CHGO. Get this exclusive offer today before time runs out. Get yourself that ButcherBox.
Check out ButcherBox, and then you got to check out Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America. They are the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. It's just you against the numbers, and instead of battling thousands of other players, including pros and sharks, you pick more than or less than on 2 to 6 player stat projections and just watch the winnings roll in. And Prize Picks has something for every sports fan, from basketball to hockey to League of Legends and everything in between. And Prize Picks even offers injury insurance so that your entries stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. For football and basketball games, if you have a player who exits the game in the first half and does not return the second, that player projection won't count against you, and the rest of your entry stays alive. And like for me, I just love going on the app. You can just scroll through it seamlessly and just checking out all the different lines and making different entries. And you have to check it out yourself. And you can go to prizepicks.com/CHGO and use the code CHGO for a first deposit match up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/CHGO and use the code CHGO. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
My bad, Prize Picks. Pick more, pick less. Damn straight. All right. Let's hear another one from Eric Washington, which I think we're pretty much all going to agree with. And it's something that we're like, what do you know about the Bears right now in May going into next year? I think we can all say without getting angry at each other right now, they're going to be better at quarterback. They're going to be better at wide receiver. I like the running back room more.
Yep.
I think the offensive line should be better.
I agree.
Health is a big part of that, but they had a lot of unhealth last year. You've added free agents. You've got guys who are maturing. Darnell Wright should be better in year 2 than he was in year 1. Yeah. Same thing with Braxton Jones in year 3. Tevin, hopefully, fingers crossed, that's a big question mark that he can stay healthy because he never has. But I think the offensive line should be better. And another area where I think we can be confident is the back 7. So this was Eric Washington on that back 7 when he was asked about it.
I believe our rushers are a year better. in terms of where we were last year and some of the things we're going to do to enhance that group. Our back seven, I just think, our back seven, I think they're as good a group as there is in the NFL. I just, and I'm biased, but having a chance to be out on the football field and watch them and watch the details, there's just a lot to be really excited about, which I am.
Best in the NFL, Nick. Fact or fiction, buddy? What do you got on that?
I mean, that's a big claim, but man,
Huge claim.
it's hard to debate having the secondary that they do. You have a top 5 corner in Jalen Johnson. TJ Edwards was snubbed from the All-Pro. He was snubbed for being an All-Pro last year, and Tremaine Edmonds played better as he kind of got continuity with TJ.
Sand God.
Don't forget the Sand God. Don't forget he's going to make some plays out there too. Tyreek Stevenson in year 2, Wichaquan Brisker, and Kyler Gore. I mean, those are a lot of names that I believe are going to be in the top in their respective positions, to be completely honest, going into 2024. So I'm going to say fact that this back seven, compare it with anybody else in the league, it's going to be hard to argue against them.
Kevin Byard, upgrade on Eddie, downgrade, equal? What do you think?
I think Kevin Byard would be an upgrade from 2023 Eddie Jackson, right? I mean, he was making some plays, but then injury, how it always goes with Eddie.
So that's the biggest thing with Byard. Hasn't missed a game in his career.
Yeah.
Eddie, last couple of years, having a hard time staying on the field. Bears talked really well about Byard, being like, we were surprised that he was available, gave him a 2-year contract, the whole thing. Listen, I don't know if they're the best. I don't even care. Bottom line, the back seven's going to be incredibly solid. So, a position of strength. What's up, Herb Howard? Jumping in the chat. Always great to see Herb. Can't wait to have him back in here for one of the shows coming up here. So, that one, when he said it, I was like, all right, got it. Now, it was also interesting. The rushers, 1 year better.
Mm-hmm.
So, he also, in positive Eric Washington talk, he wasn't like, I really think our defensive line is elite. Like, he didn't say that.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't say that there's a freight trade coming and Gervon Dexter, like our guy Richard Hightower said, with the freight trade coming with Velus. So it almost lent more credence to his comments on the back seven.
Yeah, and I think too for Eric Washington, it's good that he does have a background in working with defensive lines. So he still needs to get his hands on these guys, and obviously OTAs will be here in just a little bit, so he'll have a chance to get just the younger guys and the vets, everybody kind of involved there. But maybe we can expect just a jump up from the defensive line production just because of what Eric Washington, what he can bring there. He was asked a question during the press conference. Like, it's not technically his defense, it's still Flus's defense, and he is a DC, but he was saying that with his background, there are still bits and pieces that he's taking that they're going to implement and how they kind of run things with the Bears. So he's going to have, his pieces of the blueprint somewhat implemented in what they want to do defensively, but he has worked with a lot of defensive lines. He's gotten guys to be productive, and that's exactly what they need outside of Montez Sweat this season. They need other guys to be more productive.
And speaking to his experience, too, and the role that he was being asked to take here, hey, do you want to come be the defensive coordinator, not call plays, come into a situation where, by the way, if we don't win, I don't know, we're probably all getting fired. You're asking, at least it's not the easiest ask of all time. Let's put it that way. And again, it seems like Flus was able to get a guy to come in here, who should be a credit to the coaching staff. So,
I mean, I think that speaks highly of Flus, right? When you think about it, like, hey, come in here, join me. You're not going to call plays, but I think there's a respect level from, Eric Washington, seeing what Eberflus was able to do in Indianapolis, what he did with this Bears defense last season, taking over the play calling duties after, their DC gets fired. Like, I think that speaks, to how maybe some of these coaches view Eberflus. I know, like, that's probably the one guy on this team that even Bears fans are really still skeptical of at this point. But I think that speaks highly of what he is.
I mean, for the record, I think Matt Eberflus is in a great position. I expect him to be successful. I expect the Bears to have a good year. I expect them to be in the playoffs. I expect them to be the story of the city. I expect them to be a national story in the NFL. If it goes sideways to Gary's comment, Flus is getting 2 years. If they have a bad year, he ain't surviving that. There's too much talent on this team right now. There's too much investment. They can't have, unless it's like they had so many injuries. Mm-hmm. If for whatever reason, if they start out this year the way they started out last year,
have a slow finish, miss a playoff,
it ain't gonna cut it. So he's. I'm not saying they need to win the Super Bowl, but there's. The time is now, man. They every word out of Kevin Warren's mouth. The Bears are expecting to be at bare minimum, like right there in contention, if not a playoff team this year. So.
Yeah, December football shouldn't matter. Like, right? I mean, to be completely honest, with the roster that the Bears have, when it comes to getting December, January, the Bears better be somewhere in that realm of contention. I would think.
All right, I want to get to Kerry Joseph in a second. All right, the interaction with him, but let's just get in the OC real quick here. So I actually thought this was a great comment by Shane Waldron. It got me excited about his creativity. Will we see this creativity, fact or fiction? He was asked about wide receivers sets, using the 3 wide receivers and what that could look like. And I'm not going to say that I got full on, third date, touch on the shoulder. Things are really going your way, about to, get there where you haven't gotten to before, excitement. But I got excited when Shane Waldron had this to say about the 3 wide receivers.
For us on offense, we want to be able to be multiple on offense. And so with the addition of the wide receivers, having 3 receivers, 2 great established vets, we got other young guys that are up and coming as well on the roster. It just allows us to continue to be multiple, allows us to, on a week-by-week basis, see what might be a matchup advantage or something that we can look to lean heavier towards. And, with that, with Cole and Gerald and the other tight ends and KB at fullback, we got a lot of different pieces that we can utilize. And so, for us right now, this is the time of year where we're trying to figure out, how's everyone going to carve out their own individual role for this 2024 offense. And, the more good players you can surround yourself with, the better you're going to be as a coach, obviously. So it's been a tremendous offseason of being able to do that and add different pieces. And then the guys that are returning, they're continuing to learn and grow and become better players as well. So it'll be fun to have, all these different players and figuring out what their roles will be for that season.
All that, and it's interesting that Nick keyed into something different than I keyed into. But first of all, it speaks to why he came here. The more good players you're around, the better coach you're going to be. This dude loves Caleb, man. He absolutely looked at that. They're going to have him. I'm going to get to coach him. That dude believes in who the Bears quarterback is, and I think it's a huge reason why he's here. But what I loved, we have 3 wide receivers. We can look week to week as to where we can have a matchup advantage. Mm-hmm. I understand that's not the most upper level football thought of all time, but I really liked hearing it. Where do we have an advantage? Who can we get Rome going against? Who can we get Keenan going against? How can we? Is it DJ this week? Is it the tight ends? Is it out of the backfield? Let's be creative as to who we think we can exploit each week. That's a basic thought, but I really enjoyed it. Now, you had another key in there, which is you're more a Carm right now, Nick. You heard something that you didn't like, and now the chat's going to get mad at you that you're going to bring it up.
Well, yeah, it was intriguing. Did you guys hear that? It was KB. Don't forget about Carrie Blasingame, the fullback. Like Shane dropping him out of nowhere. That easily it caught my ear right when I heard it, and then I'm like, wait, Shane Waldron, he's not used to having tight ends. Mark, like go back to 2021 when he started with the Seahawks. They didn't have a fullback those 3 years he was in Seattle. So when he said carving out like a role for each player, and is Carrie Blasingame going to even make this roster? If you hear from that press conference, maybe Blasingame has a spot. I don't know yet. It's way too early to tell, but all these weapons The man's thinking about the fullback. How can he get the fullback maybe involved in some of these plays where you have those 3 wide receivers? You have a 700-yard receiving tight end in Cole Kmet. You have DeAndre Swift, Gerald Everett. You have all these weapons. Don't forget about blasting games.
He blasting games.
He
flat out blasting games. and I'm here for it, Shane Waldron, because Carrie's one of my favorite guys in that locker room.
Dude.
And hey, I like fullbacks. Go in there and kick the crap out of someone, open up a hole. Let's go.
Sandalwood guy too. Sandalwood.
Yeah.
Candles.
Go there. You're calling fiction on that KB. You're calling.
So I mean, in the article that I wrote for the 53, I did have blasting game on there, but I mean, the more research you do into like Waldron, he just hasn't used them. So I just don't. I don't know. I'm putting fiction right now on like the fact that Waldron is envisioning using Carrie, but prove me wrong. Prove me wrong, because obviously he's been. I think there's more. Look, I know this is gonna be. People are gonna think I'm crazy, but I think there's more to Carrie blasting him that we've actually seen. He's a good athlete. Like, he can catch out of the back, but he just hasn't gotten opportunities to. But I don't know how much you're really going to use him. And, you know, there's a lot of different factors because there's just so much talent offensively for the Bears. But I am calling fiction at this point.
I already just got excited thinking about the next time that a guy by the name of Greg Braggs makes Carrie Blasgame his prop bet on the show come the fall. Hey, we'll get to Kerry Joseph in a second here. I think there's just some stuff to key into here that I think is interesting. Yeah. You know, my commute this morning was about 7 hours, but didn't suck. You know why? Because I was in the Chevy Trax, baby. Make Ray Chevrolet your first draft pick for your new Chevy this May. Visit our partner to shop their Memorial Day sales event, which is going on all month long at Ray Chevrolet on Route 12 in Fox Lake, and, of course, at raychevrolet.com, one of the top-selling Chevy dealers in the Midwest. You'll always be able to shop one of the Chicagoland's largest Chevy inventories. They literally got everything there. You'll love it. Say hi to my guy Ray. He'll give you a bottle of water. He'll hook you up with a coffee. They might have the popcorn going. All the things. You can find the perfect tailgate vehicle right now. Get $10,000 off MSRP on a new 2024 Chevy Silverado, or at least you can lease the new 2024 Chevy Trax for only $199 a month for 36 months. I mean, come on. You can just be like Carman for $199 a month. That's a huge advantage right there. And 125 vehicles priced under $20,000. That is beautiful. Shop the Memorial Day sales event all month long by visiting Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake or raychevrolet.com. They've been serving the community since 1963. Together, let's drive.
Check out Ray Chevrolet, and then you got to check out your Shady Rays. Get ready for the season ahead with quality shades built to last. Our friends at Shady Rays have you covered with premium polarized shades that won't break the bank. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company offering a world-class product rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Their shades have durable frames and crystal clear optics, making them the perfect choice for all your outdoor adventures. They have hundreds of options to choose from, so you're bound to find the perfect pair to match your style. They probably have a style in your favorite team's colors as well. I literally have Shady Rays just in my car because I know, one, I'm going to look good wearing them, and they're going to keep my eyes protected from the sun. That's why you should check out Shady Rays. And you know, if your shades are ever going missing or take a unexpected hit, don't sweat it. They have the most insane protection in all of eyewear. Every pair is backed by lost or broken replacements. If you don't love your shades, you can exchange for a new pair or return worry-free within 30 days. There's no risk when you shop. Their team always has your back with personal and fast support. Exclusive for our listeners here at CHGO, Shady Rays is going to give you the best deal of the season. Head to shadyrays.com and use the code CHGO for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself. The shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people.
It was an amazing ride today. It was in the tracks, wearing the Shady Rays. I mean, come on.
Doesn't get better than that.
Seriously. I mean, just living the dream. All right. Let us go to the Bears' new quarterbacks coach, Kerry Joseph. Now, Nick.
Mark.
Mr. Reporter, you.
I'm listening.
Let me remind you.
Okay.
Kerry Joseph. Born October 4th, 1973, the same year as me, baby.
Wow.
I'm a little bit older than Carrie, about a couple of months. All right?
Okay.
He's coming to us from the Seahawks, for people that have forgotten. He was the assistant's QB coach from on 2022 and 2023. All right? Before that, if you look at his resume, he was originally hired in Seattle as an offensive assistant by Pete Carroll. Before that, he was a passing game coordinator and a running backs coach at Southeast Louisiana University. All right? He was a quarterback, by the way, played in the NFL, played in the CFL. But it's an interesting hire. He is not like some seasoned guru quarterbacks coach. That is not his resume. So, he was asked by my guy Mark Grody, where do you think Caleb is relative to other quarterbacks coming into the league?
Okay, good question.
Other rookies, where do you see him ahead, behind, right there? It's always, which is a tough question to answer. But the way he answered it, I thought, sort of underlined a little bit of, his experience.
That's a tough question for me to answer because, it's the first time I've had a guy, as a rookie. I've been in Seattle. I've had veteran guys. When you talk about Russell Wilson, Geno, Drew Lock, those guys are more polished and more. So for me, that's a tough one because I haven't been around other guys that, that young coming into the league. But I can tell you this here. For me to see where he's at now is impressive.
So he owns it. Hey, man, sweet to be here in Chicago. Love it. Going to lean on my guy Shane Waldron. But I've never had a quarterback coming into the league. And I'm not putting this at level 10 concern out of 10, or maybe even, I don't even know if it hits a 4. But it is interesting that the dude that is, when Shane's not around, Caleb is going to lean on Carrie, and I get into that in a second here with him. And he doesn't necessarily have, a ton of experience with rookies. That makes it an interesting hire, does it not?
It does. I mean, it is interesting to have that. The Bears also do have people on this coaching staff. Thomas Brown, who came from Carolina, worked with Bryce Young, and again, we know how that kind of worked out in Carolina for Bryce Young's first year. But they have a lot of guys that have different experiences, and I think what you can take from Kerry Joseph is just Geno Smith's season, how he was able to kind of make an ascension back to being relevant and being the quarterback's coach there in Seattle. But Caleb's also probably not like all other rookie quarterbacks. Would you say that? Like, it's the guy that he is a number 1 overall pick for a reason. He does have a certain, if you want to call it, aura or just ability to play the quarterback position that is not pretty common in other, I would say, rookie quarterbacks. Like, he's gonna have to adjust the NFL game, of course, but he seems ready for that. He's always been ready at every aspect of his life when playing the quarterback position.
I mean, we did talk about his aura, and we talked about his light on Friday's show. And yes, Gary, he can lean on Ryan Griffin. He can lean on my guy, Tyson Bagent. So he was talking about that. I just wanted to sort of get a behind-the-scenes look at what Carrie's relationship is right now with Caleb as best we could. So I asked him this question. What does Caleb want to know the most? What does Caleb want to know the most right now? Like, what is he most curious about?
He just wants to know the offense. That's his biggest thing, whether run, pass. He wants to know, why are we doing this? I'm serious. 10:30 at night, you get a text. And I tell him, hey, text me. Hey, let me know. Because if it's on his mind, he wants to know now. And you love that about it. He just wants to answer. So as he's preparing and studying, that's one thing he's doing. So,
are you of, like,
2 more?
You have to win with balance? Or, like, I mean, you got this guy. Could the Bears be kind of a throw-first team?
It's not. It's what's best for the Bears offense and best for this team to win. You can't get in that throw first, run first. We're gonna do what's best for this team. Like I said earlier, this organization has done a great job of putting some great players in place. And when you look about as a first pick of the draft coming into a situation in the NFL, it's a great situation for him, and he understands that. And just making sure it's a team game. So we're gonna do whatever it takes to win football games.
So Hey, he wants to know the offense. Text me 10:30 at night, 11, whatever. Caleb, you got thoughts? I'm here. My name's Kerry Joseph. I'm your QB coach. You love that, right?
You definitely love that. And we also heard about Caleb. Like he wants to know the offense so he can help other players on the roster. So, but first, it does come. You have to learn the actual offense so that he can spread that knowledge to other guys. So, that doesn't surprise me at all. That that's the first thing on Caleb's mind. Learn the offense. If I have to text you at 10:30 when you're, we're all just sit down in our thoughts at night, and you're maybe Caleb thinking about the offense, thinking about this playbook. So that's not too surprising to me.
I mean, I'm watching Jordan highlights at 10:30 at night, but I'm glad that Caleb's thinking about the offense. That's a good job by Caleb. Look, the whole I kind of jumped ahead there. I should have followed up. I give myself a C on that interaction. I should say, well, has he texted you at 10:30 at night? What's going on? What is he asking at 10:30 at night? What? And maybe I could have gotten a little bit more out of him. But I was kind of hell bent on getting. Can this offense be a passing offense? Mm-hmm. Can we? Is he? As he's learning it, can you see this being a high-powered, we're going to let it fly type of situation, which the Bears have literally never had.
Never. Never had. And he gave the very coachy answer.
He coached it. He coached.
You want to do whatever it needs to take to win, but he also acknowledged, like, the roster that they have for him, like, this is a great situation to be in for a number 1 overall pick. That's something that you don't ever typically get when it comes to, a number 1 pick going to a team. There's usually some kind of deficiency somewhere. That's why you get the number 1 overall pick. But they have a lot of weapons, and, Caleb knows that. Kerry Joseph knows that. Shane Waldron knows that. And they're going to look to utilize those guys in this upcoming season.
Well, speaking of the weapons, the Bears adding players into the training camp room. They've signed 6 free agents. Veterans, Freddie Swain, who's a wide receiver, was with the Seahawks in 2020 and 21. So spent a year with Waldron there. He's with the Broncos in 22 and the Dolphins in 22 as well. They signed a tight end, Tommy Sweeney, who was the Bills' 7th rounder in 2019 out of Boston College, sat out in 2020 after developing myocarditis. Disappointing that Braggs isn't here so he could break down that particular disease.
Well,
he'll be on After Dark tonight, though.
Steven?
It's inflammation around the lining of the heart, very common after getting COVID.
There you go.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anytime anybody mentions heart trouble, I start to have a heart attack over here, so I'm going to forget that just happened. John Jackson is an interesting name. Mm-hmm. So he played at USC, and then he transferred to Nevada, but him and Caleb are best friends.
And I put in there like Carman Brex.
Yeah, I see that you put that in there. Kind of like, me and Gregory. Although, I'm hoping that, John is a better friend to Caleb than Braggs is to me. That'd be good. But so his dad, John Jackson, played 5 games with the Bears in 96, if we're going to go the full history here, after 5 years of minor league baseball. That's according to CHGOBears.com. But so this is a guy that people like, this is his buddy. This is his caddy. This is his guy, and that's why he's on the roster. Does Caleb deserve a guy? Does he?
I don't.
Does he deserve a buddy to learn the playbook together, to hang out, to go to dinner?
No, I mean, that's what he's got all the rest of his teammates for, right? Those are going to be his buddies. Like, does he deserve a guy? No, but can you keep him around for a little bit?
Is it in the Bears' interest for him to have a guy? Let me rephrase it.
I mean, early on, I guess he's probably not going to be on this team not for much longer.
Caleb, do you like John? Because if you do, we'd love you and John to learn together. I don't think the Bears are necessarily doing that.
Yeah, I don't think. Look, I get it. Number 1 overall. I don't know if he has that much pull, like a roster spot just for good old Caleb.
Well, and look,
and I don't think he needs it, to be completely honest. Like, he doesn't seem like he needs to have a guy there. Do you think differently, or?
Well, I got to be honest. I didn't notice John.
No,
Jackson.
number 8. Like, I was like looking in my notes. Like, did not see much from him.
I mean, I got no problem with it. I'm not gonna make some big beef.
Yeah.
It's more interesting to me how much will the Bears do to make their
players
hopefully
happy.
franchise player as happy as possible. Where where will and also it a little bit puts him in an odd spot. If guys in the locker room like, oh, this dude's here because of him, like that's not necessarily great. So I don't think it's a big thing, but I also think like maybe the Bears strategy is perfect here. Maybe as to how can we best support our guy. John Jackson's is he can compete, he can be out there, they can hang. It's good. It's a nice,
it's not a bad thing.
It's right.
It's not a bad thing.
So
yes, but did I see him do much on day one of rookie minicamp? Not necessarily. Freddie Swain though, 86.
Yeah,
like he was a guy that actually caught some passes from Caleb, a couple of touchdown grabs in the low red zone and 7-on-7. So he was also doing some punt returning reps with Rome Odunze on the first practice. So Freddie Swain, I did see number 86 flying around, but there were also a couple other players that were signed. Leon Jones, the cornerback from Arkansas State, he had an interception on Austin Reed on the first pass attempt at 7-on-7 on day one of rookie minicamp. Deshaun Mallory did not, to be completely honest, defensive players. I did not notice very much defensive players during rookie minicamp, but you had Deshaun Mallory and Paul Maiola, the linebacker at Georgia Tech.
Yeah. All right, just to wrap the new guys up, you think John Jackson's on the practice squad?
John Jackson.
If they'd keep him on the practice squad as sort of a Jack Haley, if people get that reference type.
I don't, but
you don't get that reference. Jack Haley was Rodman's buddy.
Okay.
And so he was around for that, and he was also kind of a. He was with even like early Bulls. R.I.P. By the way, Jack Haley was a great energy dude. Whatever. Just
is he? I mean, thinking about the wide receivers, like they don't have. You have Velus and Tyler Scott as like the backup guys, but they don't really have many guys just at the wide receiver position.
That's fair.
So
there's room.
Hey, practice squad, John Jackson. Why not?
There could be some room there. Why not? I mean, there'll be a lot of interesting names out there, but hey.
Sure.
All right, other Bears making some landing spots. Lucas Patrick joining EQ and Nathan Peterman. They're all down in New Orleans, man.
And Andrew Janocko, quarterback's coach.
Yeah.
Bears over there.
Janocko, EQ, Peterman, Patrick. Don't sleep on the Saints and Derek Carr, damn it. One of my brilliant predictions that came true. Carman doesn't get any predictions. Carman doesn't get any predictions right. 7-10 nailed the record. Carman doesn't get any predictions right. Take the under on Justin Fields. Carman doesn't get any prediction right. Okay, no problem. You're right. I have no idea what I'm talking about. No idea. Okay.
Good job, Mark.
I don't know where that just came from. That was I should be above the fray. All right. 1 second of stadium talk here.
Oh, yeah.
Our guy over at, he does a bunch of producing here. You may have heard that he's produced this show. His name's Kevin Wells. He also works over at WGN Radio. And on the Bob Surratt Morning Show today, they had on the mayor, Brandon Johnson. And Wells got a question in there.
Let's go.
As he tried to move the needle forward on this Bears Stadium thing. I've been trying to talk to Brandon Johnson for more than a minute here. Wells, out of nowhere, gets the question in. It's kind of irritating, but congratulations to Kevin and to Bob. And so this was the interaction with Brandon on other locations is where he's going here for the Bears Stadium in the city.
Mr. Mayor, I don't know if he has a better idea, but Kevin Wells in our newsroom has a follow-up for you.
Yeah, hey, Mr. Mayor, nice to talk to you again. I was curious with the campaign that you ran of running on helping neighborhoods that have been disinvested in. Did conversations ever take place with Bears ownership about maybe putting a stadium on the south or west sides of Chicago?
So those conversations were had. Right now, there were some significant limitations. For instance, there was a location that was just too narrow. We explored all of that. But make no mistake about it, people were concerned of whether or not I would be able to make investments in all of our neighborhoods. We're doing that. $1.25 billion investments for the entire city of Chicago, but particularly the west, south sides.
Mr. Mayor, I don't know if he has a better idea.
There we go. Sorry. All right. So there's the mayor. We looked elsewhere. The best spot in the whole damn city for the Bears Stadium is on the lakefront. Mark Carman here, huge Bears in the City guy. You can't tell me that there aren't other spots in the city where they would fit. You telling me that if the White Sox are going to move, that you couldn't put the Bears Stadium right there? Why wouldn't that work?
It still
There's
feels
7,000 parking lots over there.
That's true. Okay, yeah.
You absolutely could put it there, but that
there was one location that was too narrow.
Yeah, that.
Wonder where. Narrow.
I believe that I should know this, and I do know this, but it's like slipping my mind. It's like the McCormick Place location or something like that. He talked about that wasn't going to work. They want it on the lakefront, man. They want the beauty of it.
Yeah.
This is sure they looked elsewhere, but they want it on the lakefront. And Kevin Warren was out of practice on at rookie minicamp, and he was shaking hands with the media, and I shook his hand, and
Yeah.
and I was like, Chicago, Kevin, Chicago. He's like, I know. So I put my 2 cents in again to the Bears president. Hope he didn't mind.
I was taking notes, and then it was like a light tap on the shoulder, and then the note kind of goes off. I'm like, who? Oh, it's Kevin Warren. He's kind of just saying hi to all the media going down the line. And I did hear your little Chicago reference to him.
Chicago.
So he knows. He knows what you want. He knows what he probably wants.
He watches the show. He's a huge fan.
He was rocking some nice Jordans too. Like Kevin Warren. Oh man, I can't remember what number. I would have to look at the Jordans, but he's got style, man. President of the Bears. Style.
Elite walk. Does a nice job. Listen, it's our guy. You know who's also our guy?
Who's our guy?
Our guy is Andy. New diehards. Andy. The big serve. The proud American. The insane competitor. Should never have been a Bear, Andy. I want to say that. That was bad. It's not your fault, though. You are an elite Bear fan. You are Andy, and you are a diehard. And then what about... You got that one?
It was Roddick, right?
Yes, you got Roddick, and then Roddick to Dalton. And then Jake. Born leader. Passionate. The guy you want in the foxhole. He's going to stick with you until the very, 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 very end. Huge heart. Visionary. Creative. Maybe the biggest Bears fan. Jake, welcome to the diehard family. And then our guy, Aaron. Jake. What about Aaron? Double A.
Oof.
Man spoke the truth. He always did. Did come back to bite him. Probably went a little bit too far. But he never bought into the Cutler hype. He knew. And that's why I appreciate this, Aaron. An elite communicator. Perhaps about to be a leader as well. Big A. Double A. Aaron.
Rodgers.
What about our guy, Kyle? We got a lot of diehards today. Go to allchgo.com. You get a free T-shirt. Get the Caleb collection going on right now, which is a sweet situation franchise collection. I'm sorry, that's what we called it. We got events left and right. We got a golf event coming up here. There's a zillion things reasons to become a diehard. You get access to the Discord. We did a Discord overtime on Friday, on Saturday. Me and Nick were hanging out. We'll do that again this week. So.
A lot of benefits there, yep. A lot of benefits.
Yeah, great way to support the show if you're enjoying it. But Kyle, he's cool under pressure. He's money under pressure. He's understated. And sometimes Kyle goes no underwear when the moment hits him. I got to be honest. Kyle's the type of guy who, word on the street is he sleeps free. Kyle will go free. He'll spend a night with, in peace and quiet. I appreciate that about Kyle. Kyle, welcome. What about what about our guy Mark?
Oh, lots of things to say about Mark.
So good, so talented, so heartfelt. See your future, be your future. Carrying a little extra weight nowadays, it's true.
Okay.
It's all right.
You were rubbing your belly over there while we were doing our show. I'm like, what the hell were you doing?
I'm so upset with myself. I can't. I found like a bowling alley and this dive pizza place in the burbs, and it's just.
Oh, you're hooked.
I'm in a bad spot. Things are not going well. I worked out this morning. I'm going to double today.
Let's go.
And the only thing I've eaten today is 2 bananas and some nuts. So we're trying.
Such a terrible combination.
No, it's good. They're good nuts. Here, I'll pull them out for you, Nick.
No.
Who's the next diehard?
There you go, right there. A nice snack
nuts.
pack of. There you go.
I don't
There
want
you
your
go.
nuts.
You can have my nuts.
They're so warm.
They are. Hey, Monday. Cats away my script play. All right. Hey, Mark, thanks for being a diehard. You're a starting point guard. You're a top of the order with power. You can get open against nearly anyone. You're my guy. And this is like my day. Marcus.
Oh, my gosh.
Marcus. What do you want to say about Marcus? The man knows the love language, man.
I know where you're going.
He lights a candle, dude. He buys that bottle of wine. He writes out a great Mother's Day card and a birthday card and just a rando card. This guy's the man. He brings flowers at random times. Dude knows how to touch the heart. That's my guy, Marcus. Love you, Marcus. And thank you for being a diehard. We greatly appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Become a diehard. Get yourself on the team here. I mean, Marcus, what a great addition. We got 2 more.
Who we got?
And it's time to get emotional.
Oh.
William. Big Will.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anybody that brings more passion than Will? Is there anyone that just wants to be out there and do good for literally everyone? The elite teammate. Makes you feel good every time you see him. Knows his hoop. And he respects some of the weirdest basketball players in the history of the city. William, you are the man, and you are a diehard, and we appreciate you. And lastly, Kate. I mean, we need some female presence in the diehards here, Kate. We do. And you, Kate.
Thank you.
It almost brings a smile. It brings a tear to my eye that Kate is here today, because Kate has always meant a lot to me. Kate had a phenomenal dog in Belle the dog. Now, sure, Kate gave up Belle the dog because she met somebody who already had his own dogs and just got rid of her dog. But don't worry about that, Kate, because you're not that type of Kate. And you're also not the type of Kate that would ever let a dude float in the water and end his life because you couldn't figure out a way to get him on the board with you. Winslet, Rose. That's not the type of Kate you are. We wouldn't have let that Kate in our diehard clan.
Nope.
You're a great Kate. You're an all-state Kate. Volleyball, basketball, and softball. You did it all. You do it all. And you mean a ton to us. And I don't know why, but I think Nick's about to cry. Kate, we love you.
Kate Martin.
Welcome to the diehard family.
Iowa.
Certainly. Nuts. A great snack opportunity. It's got raisins, sunflower seeds,
Somebody help me.
protein.
Get me out of here.
It's an excellent choice for your snacks.
Just so warm.
I should have gone Marcus Jordan. That was a mistake on the Marcus.
That's how I thought you were going with. I'm like, the love language and...
I had to, I don't even want to know. When they really get to know me, sometimes I'm more from Mark to Marcus. So it's the love language there, the Marcus.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. I see. Now I see.
That's why.
I thought you were... I just...
So I had
the
to
whole Jordan thing and then Marcus Jordan.
I had to dial that in.
Kind of right.
All right. Busy week here, Nick. We've got this. So schedule release is Wednesday. We're planning on a double show for you Wednesday, team. That's the plan. Going to be here as normal at noon because these things come out early, and so we can talk about it. The full schedule release at 7. We're going to be back for it. So huge day on Wednesday. And we're taping, fingers crossed, not going to say the name, but we're taping with a Chicago Bear later this afternoon that we'll bring bring to you on tomorrow's show. So looking forward to that opportunities. Braggs is here tonight with Woot for Bears After Dark. Nick's probably doing something somewhere.
Something. Yep. Something.
And we are efforting a ton of guests too. So
yeah,
hopefully those will be hitting as well. A fun show today, baby.
It was fun.
Yeah.
We kept on track right till the end there, and yeah, I think people enjoyed it. We have a couple of super chats, probably get us on out of here, but fun Monday show as always with you, Mark. We have Nuku,
my man,
our guy. He said, "Hey guys, been super busy with work and haven't been able to tune into many live shows lately. Excited to follow another season with you guys."
Nuku, we miss you when you're not here, but we're thinking of you at all times. You know this. We love you, Nuku.
You are the best.
My guy.
$5 super chat from Robert Lee. Do you guys think Caleb Williams would be the kind of quarterback to take over the offense and audible at the line, kind of the way Peyton Manning used to CHGO the best? I think he's going to have that capabilities once he has to learn the offense first, right? It's just not something that you automatically do, but once he starts to recognize what defense they're throwing at him, once he gets a good grasp of the offense, like, why wouldn't Caleb Williams be able to go to the line of scrimmage, audible, and change to something that he may think is better? So I think it's in the cards for him.
I concur. Yeah. Shout out to a great movie, Catch Me If You Can. Do you concur, Doctor?
I've seen that.
I concur. I think Caleb is going. We're not taking any chips off the table. Of course, Caleb's going to be able to walk up to the line and do everything that you want him to be able to do up there at an elite level. He's Caleb Damn-ass Williams. Ricky Ricardo, during Bears practice, which QB covers which wide receiver?
Oh, like in
I'll
like
let you
OTAs?
try to. You can try to tackle that one.
So I mean, you would have. So I think Keenan's going to play a lot from the slot this year.
He almost
so
certainly will.
Kyler Gordon, Keenan Allen, DJ, Jalen, Tyreek, Rome. I would think that's how it would go matchup-wise if you're going like your 3 wide receiver set.
Well, it's interesting, the question, because, Jalen would like to be the dude that follows around the best wide receiver.
Yeah.
That's what he wants to do. But the Bears haven't done it that way.
No,
And now Jalen's got his paper, so whatever. I don't think that's just going to change his mindset even a one iota of a drop. So would they perhaps, under the new tutelage of Eric Washington alongside the Flus, would they change that? I don't know. And then it's also like it's a great opportunity for a guy like Rome. Hey, you're going to go against Jalen today. Oh, tomorrow's Tyreek. Now you're going to go against Kyler. Like
that would be a good way to get some different reps against different corners. So I agree.
You would think that they would switch it up and move it around. Appreciate the question, my brother. And I guess we'll get on out of here. If rain stays away, the CHGO softball team will be 1-0 tonight at about 8:01 after Nick goes 4 for 4.
Cycle, baby.
We got 7,000 players on the team this year because
people want to play for a championship, right?
That's right.
Championship team.
We're the best team in the league, and it's not close, and we're going to kill everybody. It's honestly, they should just give us the trophy right now. Shout out Best in Show, another great movie. She's like, I just give me the trophy, and of course, it didn't end up going to her. By the way,
it's messed up.
They Winky got it. You never saw Best in Show, did you?
I don't think so. I don't know who Winky is.
Do you like dogs? Does anybody like dogs around here? Best in Show. Check it out when you're not watching CHGO Bears. Have a great rest of your day, Nick. Great job. Appreciate being with you. Stephen Nicholas, thank you for producing Bears After Dark tonight. And, we'll see you tomorrow right here at noon. Have a great rest of your day.
We all silly like the mayor.